I kind of want to switch gears here. A lot of times it's episode 8. We really mixed up. This episode 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm sitting here with my co-host Slimmy. And I'm Latasha Marie. You know about what's in today's world. So remember, you can subscribe. Switch gears here. A lot of times in relationships, especially relationships that are on the decline, a lot of people think that sex can save a marriage. Hey everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. I know it was a pretty heated discussion with episode 1 for season 2. Again, this is episode 2 of season 2. So again, welcome back. Stay tuned for the conversation ahead. Right before we get started, let me make sure I at least let you guys know there's a subscription link down below to your right. So click it. Click notifications so you can constantly get emails and notifications of when we post new videos and episodes. Also make sure in the right hand top corner of the screen you click our Patreon link and of course support. We definitely need that. And by the way, this is Slimmy and this is Tasha Marie. So again, we're gonna go ahead and bring you the topic of, this is crazy, if you got married to your husband, your wife, and 2 weeks in after the actual marriage and the ceremony and the beautiful flower, you know, the flower girls and the music and I mean all the thousands of dollars you can spend in a wedding on this man, this woman that you see yourself spending the rest of your life with, for better or for worse, for richer or for poor. So let's say that wonderful person that you gave these beautiful vows to and committed to 2 weeks prior, and you find out 2 weeks skipping forward that they were intimate or they were involved sexually with someone at the bachelor or the bachelorette party. How in the world would you react to that? I just want y'all to comment. You don't even have to wait for my response. Well, Slimmies, just go ahead and comment and tell me what you would do personally. I can start it out. Honestly, and maybe I'm just an extremely loyal person. I just can't deal with disloyal people. So we will probably be separated 2 weeks in over something that happened before we said our adieus, because it's principle. I mean, no, we weren't officially husband and wife, but we were dating and going into a sacred matrimony that requires some kind of level of respect, not only for yourself as the individual, but also respect for the person that you're about to marry. I deem it disrespectful and I deem it disloyal in so many ways. And honestly, for you to betray me that way just so early on into this marriage, I honestly would find myself separating. So, I mean, we would be separated. And I mean separated in the sense of not just on paper, but we wouldn't be sleeping in the same bed, you know. You know, it'll be a his and her section of the bathroom. It would be pretty like on the grounds of like divorce. But you know, if it's 2 weeks in, you also can get an annulment too. Yeah. So remember that. As long as it's, I think, what, under 90 days.
Don't be schooling the people in the divorce game.
I'm just, you know, you gotta know. You got to know just in case. So honestly, it would be a separation period. And if it didn't seem like he was really sorry about it, or if he or if, let's say, because usually when you find out one thing, it kind of snowball effects. Other things kind of come out the closet. So if it was like, I found that out and then other things actually started to take place and happen, like to follow, like other stuff started getting uncovered and revealed, I would get an annulment. I would save myself the headache and the foolishness, you know, and go ahead and get that good old annulment. But what would you do? I'm curious to know. You know, if that happened to you.
I do?
Yeah.
What you mean?
Your wife just messed with the, you know, the male entertainer 2 weeks ago.
I couldn't even
did whatever she did, kissed him and everything, and then she came and kissed you on the altar and then committed to you.
I can't even really picture nothing like that happening to me. I can't be that unlucky as a man, as a human being, for that to happen to me.
Oh,
like,
man.
You know what I mean? Like, if that happened, I found that out then, you know what I mean? She gotta go. Yeah.
So you were instant annulment, you would be done.
Yeah.
No chance of reconciliation.
Yeah. Especially if she messed with him. You know, now if she was to kiss him or something, okay, I might be able to let her slide with that. You know what I mean? But if you done, you know what I mean, it's gonna take me forever to forgive you for the kiss, but so if you don't went farther than that, nah, I can't do it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, that's good right here, crazy, but nah, I wouldn't be able to do it because at the end of the day, how I look, females, like me and we can just do something like bam, 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 and run out. But a female, y'all actually give yourself to somebody. So therefore, if she done gave herself to somebody, you know what I mean?
You think our heart doesn't necessarily, it means that our heart is not with you, in a sense?
Yeah, I feel, in some kind of way, I feel like, you know what I'm saying, it's you submitting, you know what I mean? So therefore, you giving yourself away, and this man who probably messing with you, he don't even care nothing that what you giving away, he just taking what you giving. And so therefore, what you giving is mine, so therefore you done gave mine away, you might well go on over there and stay with him. You know what I mean?
So I think we kind of, at this situation, we actually in agreement with this. Annulment, separation, it just would be a done deal. And I mean, what about for the people that are saying under our comments right now, or even after this show is aired, you know, they made a mistake, or, you know, it's nothing wrong with, you know, sowing those wild oaths and kind of getting your last, you know, good one for the road, one for the team, you know, out of your system before you fully make that leap of commitment. So what about for those people that are, you know, watching now and they're like, hey, you know, that happened before we got married, or we were not officially husband and wife yet. So anything prior to us saying I do, you know, it doesn't faze me. It's a clean slate. When we officially said our vows to one another, that immediately erased everything else that happened in the past.
And they really mean it, or they're gonna go do it too after that. You know?
I mean, I'm just saying, like, if for just to say, let's say this is a person that's like last one for the team, you know, right before you know, jump the broom. Yeah,
I feel like, you know, my woman couldn't do it, but if I was to do it, I think it'll be a little bit different.
How would it be different?
Because I'm not giving her away. I'm sticking and moving. You know what I mean? I'm doing and grooving. You know what I mean? So
no.
Not saying
no. And see, that goes back to, oh my God. That goes back to what we talked about before in season 1, and how men can just be so, I guess, disconnected emotionally. They can do things sexually with somebody and it not be any emotions added.
Yeah, because it ain't about, like, you know what I'm saying? Unlike, it ain't really emotional with us unless we really care about the female. So therefore, if it feel good, it feel good. Who don't like to feel good? So therefore, if, you know what I mean? But if you care about it, then yeah, it's gonna be emotional. But if you don't, you know, it's you moving and grooving.
No, because I guess I live by a motto that's very simple. Is, you know, treat people how you want to be treated.
Yeah, that's
period.
True. That's true.
So if you wouldn't want your wife to be sticking and moving or jumping and moving,
she can't do that because she better have. She got to stick. Then she wouldn't be with me. Cause
okay, if she's jumping and jiving and moving around, I mean, you would jumping and jiving. No. So if she is, you know, jumping and jiving, scheming and conniving.
Can't do it. Lord know my heart.
So how do you have a double standard? I don't understand, men. I need y'all men to comment for real, because I don't understand it. Slimmy has tried to explain it to me so many different ways in previous season, and I'm still lost. I still don't understand it. It doesn't make sense to me.
This what happened, bro. See, we was kings when they tied us over at the motherland. Then they came over here and drove us to the other land, and they took our wives away. You know, and now they done script us, and now they say you get your one, now that it's over. You know. So
his theory is he thinks that men are meant to have multiple wives.
No, I say back in the day, you know, in the Bible, it was, you know, they had wives, concubines.
But the only thing about that is those men were able to. I'm not justifying it. I'm just saying they were able. They had to have the means to support a system like that. You're not having 5 wives and barely, you know, making minimum wage.
That's because they broke us over here and gave us jobs, and we can't afford our women no more. And that's why y'all be talking all that junk to us. They took out. It was all part of their plan. Now,
again, if you want your, I mean, so then let me ask you this: how do you feel about women? And there are some in this society, believe it or not. It's not as popular, but there are women with multiple husbands.
Oh, I don't know.
So let's say the roles reverse and they turn. How do you feel?
Where they do that at?
In America, I mean, there are actual women that have multiple men.
And they all stay in the house together.
All in the same house.
All the niggas gay. Oh, you gotta blame that out.
No, they're in the same house. They're not necessarily in the same bed.
That's too much.
She may go be with Johnny one night and then go be with Adam the next, and then after that go be with basically spread her time amongst each individual husband. They're actually called co-husbands. And the term, the political term for it is polyandry. And parts of China, Nepal, they actually traditionally practice polyandry. So they, you know, based on a little research, they definitely say it's common for these co-husbands to have like sexual jealousies amongst each other, you know, because again, they're all vying for the attention of this one woman.
Yeah.
And so you wouldn't feel, I mean, if the woman you were with had multiple men like yourself, and you were just one of the 4 or one of the 3, I mean, you got to think of it like that. You're saying, hey, you know, how do you think a woman would feel with the, you know, with polygamy, as you being the one man in the situation and her having to vie for your attention and vie for your affection? Like,
you know, I heard a song that came out, man, and it'd be like this: hell no to the no, 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 hell to the no. So you wouldn't be okay with it for her, but yeah, it's okay for men. Man, this society is so. Let me tell you. No, but see, y'all gotta look at how it's supposed to be looked at instead of how y'all thinking. You know what I mean? Okay, this is you know what I mean? You gotta look at it like, okay, y'all have a little spot. In the spot, it goes open, you know, it goes closed. So it means somebody's going opening this spot up. No, you can't do that. So
because I mean, either way, what I'm saying is, if you're not cool with it for her to do, then it should not be cool for you to do. And
but
I think the world in general is just so jacked up because
no, it's like really, if you really think about it, it's like, okay, we value y'all in a way. So that's how I look at it. Like, I value you too much to let you do that.
That's for your perspective
to yourself.
But because everything is based on perspective. He's so silly. Everything is based on perspective. So the perspective for a woman that has to share you with 4 or 5 other women, how do you think she feel as an individual woman?
Oh, no.
I'm gonna tell you, if I was in a situation like that, I would honestly feel a level of insecurity, because it will make me feel like I'm not good enough, that he feels the need to have to add additional women into this, you know, life of ours. And then number two, I would feel like I'd have to do more just to get your attention.
Yeah.
So I mean, because honestly, everything's not going to be even and divided, you know, fairly.
Yeah, I agree.
So he might have his favorites or ones he prefer over the others.
Yeah.
So it may make those that are less preferred feel jealous or envious of the other woman that you know, are constantly laying down with and constantly spending time with. So, I mean,
I feel
it's natural human emotions that's going to pretty much pop up in a situation like that.
Yeah, I definitely
jealousies, envies. I mean, we done seen Snapped. We all have seen First 48, and we all know what happens, you know, when a person's on those shows. It's simply because they've lost it. They went to the left. About, you know, their spouse cheating on them, about their spouse stepping out on them, about their spouse living a double life that they didn't know about, and when they found out about it, they didn't know how to deal with it. So again, I mean, my motto is not going to change. I feel like a man should treat a woman how he wants to be treated, and if he doesn't want to be treated a certain way by her, and if he wants her to uphold certain values as a respectable woman, then he has to uphold those same values as a respectable man.
And you know what, I agree. You know what I mean? I be laughing and joking, but yeah, I do agree. Right. Yeah, I know that in the way society is right now, you know what I mean, you know, it's less men than it is females. It's like it's a lot of y'all. You know what I mean? So therefore, I can see our men have temptation, but at the end of the day, I do feel like, yeah, a man can be with one woman and be faithful, but I don't know what point in his life, you know what I mean,
that it get to that
but
point.
I know that it can, and for some dudes, hey,
it never happens. Like what, Hugh Hefner, like, has he ever been married? Do you know?
He came in like a pimp, he went out like a pimp.
I didn't know he passed.
Rest in peace, Hugh. Yeah, he gone.
I thought he was still alive. So yeah, I mean, he's a prime example. I don't think he ever actually settled with one woman. I think that if he did have one woman, it was like she was his main, and then of course he still did his own thing on the side or whatever. And they had that, I guess, that agreement or that okayness with one another to do it. I mean, me personally, I'm an old-fashioned girl. I believe in monogamy and one wife, one husband together, and that's it. That's my Bible-based belief. And maybe it's basic for some, but you know, it's what I stand on, and it's not gonna change.
Yeah. I be just playing though. I'm shooting in my mind. I hope my mama ain't watching this. Mom, you know I know the rule. But yeah, nah, I just be playing, man, because I feel like, you know, it's a lot of people that do say it, and me and we joke about it all the time. But you know what I mean, most of the time we know we ain't getting away with that. You know what I mean? I got somebody that that want to be on the show too, and he really about that life. You know what I mean? I don't know how he's still living today, but he's still on this earth. I'm surprised he ain't killed. Shout out to my partner. I ain't gonna say it now.
I can't with you.
But yeah, but you know what I'm saying? So, but I understand exactly what you mean.
Now I'm gonna try to shift this a little bit. Just something that kind of came across my mind as he was talking. I don't know if it's relatable or not, but if you've been, you know how like when you were younger and you might have had this puppy love type relationship and you were like so in love with this person, that was all you could see, or even your first real like serious relationship, whether that was when you were a teenager or up until your young adulthood. Would you ever say, like, after that point in your life when your heart was broken and things didn't go the way, you know, you wanted them to go per se, that you could see yourself still loving somebody else completely different to the same degree that you love the person that you first fell in love with? Or do you think the love just kind of changes as you get older and wiser with life and experience in general?
I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know about that one, because at the end of the day, I feel like, you know what I mean, when that season there, you know, it's going to feel like the best thing since the color TV. You know what I mean? But then when it's gone, you find something else, you be like, okay, you ain't even really going to remember that. You're going to be like, oh yeah, I was. You know what I mean? If you really ever got over them. But if you ever get over them and this right here is what it is, yeah, I feel like, yeah, you know what I mean? It'll be good. You know what I'm saying? Like, you won't even think about it like that. You know what I mean? I got a partner, like, I ain't never think he gonna get over his ex. And when he got over his ex, he was like, man, I don't even like her no more. And I'm like, dang, but not the way you was looking at me about 7, 8 months ago, but it's like, so it was just a drastic
But
turn.
it's different with men though, because at least from what I'm told when I've talked to, you know, uncles, cousins, you know, just male guys around, whether I work with them at the job or see them out and about, men tend to not hover over things emotionally for too long, and they'll give it a certain amount of time. That's and then afterwards, when they're over it, it's over. There's no more emotional attachment to it. It's a wrap at that point. But women is a little different depending on how much was vested in that relationship.
But females, what some females will do, I done seen them like they might do something in the relationship end, they'll go get into another relationship, and then when that relationship end, they'll a lot of times they'll go back and fish for it again. You know what I mean? And see what it is. And but
men do too.
Oh, I know, man, but I don't know. I ain't gonna say that because it's like
men do too.
Nah,
especially if they messed it up and they were the reason why the situation didn't work. Men will definitely come back to an ex, especially one that he could deem himself being with or seeing himself with for a long period of time.
Yeah. That's true. But you know what I mean. But I don't know, cause it's like I done went back and then when I went back and I was like.
So have you ever went back?
Not all the way back. I done went back and
just played around.
We not. I ain't gonna say play around. We laid around.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So. And you know, and it's like, but it's like it's not the same. So therefore, but if I went back and it would have been the same, but I did go back to see if it was gonna be the same. But it's like to her it could have been the same, but to me it didn't feel the same. So I couldn't do it. You know what I mean? But because it wasn't the same, did you feel bad about going back in the first place, or did you feel like, well, it was worth a try? At least I went back trying to see where it would go. Yeah, it was worth a try because you know I went back and now we got a bond that can't be broken. So you know what I mean. So yeah, you know, but it's only if both people know that this might not work. But if you got one person be like, oh, it's about to work, and then you ain't, and then you say you about to leave, after that you got hell on your hands.
So basically, just when you guys are just in two different sides of the boat.
You know, like, okay, we're gonna do this, but we don't know yet. We just so cool that we cool.
So you gotta have the same vibe, gotta have that same understanding too.
Yeah, that's
right. So again, I know you were saying that you don't regret going back. You don't regret trying, you know, with a previous situation that you had high hopes for working. Yeah. What would you say to those people that separated with their, you know, went on their separate ways and went about their lives and came back to each other, reconnected, you know, whether it was a decade later, whether it was 20 years later, and it worked. And it clicked again.
That's a blessing.
How would you?
I feel like that's a blessing because, you know what I'm saying, it's like, you know, it's like sometimes you got to go away from each other and to grow.
To find each other again.
Yeah, exactly. Because once you argue with people, you know what I mean, you argue with them so much, you forget why you even got with them. You just be like, I just hate everything about them. You know what I'm saying? But
especially in the heat of the moment.
Yeah.
Right.
But then when you separate part ways and go do this and go do that, you be like, dang, you know?
So maybe because I'm just so like naive in a lot of ways. I believe in soulmates. Do you believe in soulmates?
Yeah, I believe in so.
Okay. Because I know some people that are watching this right now may not again comment, let us know.
One of these viewers my soulmate.
Listen, he's a fool. He's a fool. Listen. So do you believe that there's only one soulmate for you for a person's entire life, or do you believe that you can have multiple soulmates and it's just basically if you cross paths at the right time?
That's deep.
It's real deep, right?
That's deep.
But I've always thought about that, like, and y'all comment, let us know something, like, do you think that you only have one soulmate in your entire life? Like, everyone that's born into this world can only have one soulmate? Or do you believe everyone born into this world can have multiple soulmates and maybe 3 in their lifetime?
I had like 5.5 soulmates.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, 5.5. One of them was a midget. Nah, I was just playing. Nah, I was just playing.
I'm done with you. I'm so done.
Nah, but I done had some people where like how you said, like it could have been, but I wasn't ready. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, and most of the time that's how it was. Like I wasn't ready, or I was over here looking for this, and they was like, I want you, and I'm looking like, well, I'm over here right now, and I'm trying to do this, and when I did get back, they was gone.
Bad timing.
Yeah, and then when they do come back, you know what I mean, I done went and, you know, found somebody else again. I done went through a whole nother relationship. So when they come back, it was just like it never really hit. And you know what I'm saying? So then when I had the opportunity to come back again,
right,
now they married. So it's like, so I'm like, well, maybe that ain't my soulmate.
Right, you know maybe it just was not meant to be.
But it could have been, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, it should have, could have.
It's a lot of, yeah, I was about to say, it's a lot of shoulda, coulda, wouldas. But let me tell you, you know, from a person that has witnessed, you know, a person, you know, losing somebody before they're even born versus somebody that's lived 75 years on this earth and meeting our maker. I mean, what makes us think that we have time to do this over here for right now, you know, kick dust in the air and potentially pass up a really good person or pass up on something that was possibly meant for us? Like, what makes us think we have time to waste like that? We're not promised tomorrow. We're not promised next year. We're not promised next week. And for some reason, I think when men, and I'm talking to men because I'm female, so I'm going to have the females. I feel you. I'm hold you guys down. You already know. So what would make these men think that they have all the time in the world to play the field, play, you know what I'm saying, do whatever it is that they do, and then come back and get it, you know, together with just one woman that they want to finally settle down with? What makes a person think they have time like that?
Because we don't really think that at all. You know what I mean? We know that it could be over. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, when we doing, we not worried about nothing to be over. We just doing what we doing today. You know what I mean? So, but when the shit comes to, oh, excuse me for cussing, when it comes for us to worry about it being over, that's when we worry about it being over. But at that time, we only doing what we do. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, we don't.
And you're saying this is for all men?
Man, for the most of they doing what they doing. Like, we don't, you know what I'm saying? You guys, you know what I'm saying? Everybody got their own way of maneuvering. You know what I mean?
Right.
But at the end of the day, it's all, if you get caught, it's always the same consequence. So you gotta, you know, some dudes be like, you ain't going nowhere. He'll grab her and keep her and might lock her in the house or something like that. When he get caught, you know, you got people that be like, all right, man, well, I understand. And try to get her back. Then you got the dudes that they go jump off a bridge. Oh, I can't do it. Oh, no. You know what I mean?
Right,
it's just like, it's just different men. But the whole time, all of us, really, when we doing what we doing, we don't be thinking. We just be thinking about what's happening right now. Like, dang, did you see that right there? Good morning, America. You know what I mean? And, oh, she with it? Okay. And she with it? Okay. I don't know. I might not need to do it. Some people fight. Some people, like temptation be on some people, and they might not do it, or they might avoid her, and she keep calling. So therefore, after a while, you know what I mean? Like,
they'll give into it. Right.
Yeah, you might give into it, you know what I mean? And,
right.
You know, but some dudes, some of the good dudes, you know what I'm saying, all 2 or 3 of them.
So do you think all men, well, I don't have to ask you, do you think, you being a man.
I ain't going now. I ain't going
but you open the door for it. So you being a man, and you men that are commenting and watching this right now, you know, let us know.
You about to ask us all be a cheat.
Do all of you cheat? Are there any
men
in the world
that never cheat,
that are watching this episode right now that can be faithful and committed to their wives? I mean, do they exist? Do they live?
Yeah.
And then I want to know what bridge they live under. I mean,
you know them ones, you know what? They already taken. and so therefore you would never find them because
it's gotta be some. It's gotta be some. It's gotta be some somewhere that are gonna be that's gonna go against the grain. Because I'm telling you, I mean, I only can speak for me. I don't want somebody that's doing what society does and what is promoted by what is promoted by our culture. Our culture, like, you know, our culture promotes foolishness. Our culture promotes, you know, it promotes you being, you know, promiscuous and not being committed to just one person, and it promotes that you're weak if you are committed to one person. And what makes you a man and what gives you ego and what builds you, you know, as a man is by you simply having multiple women to juggle around and kind of just have at your convenience. And so I just feel like there's got to be some good men out here that can be committed, that can step up to the plate, that's gonna say, despite, you know, all the Love and Hip Hop episodes of foolishness, despite all the, you know, the cheating in America, whether it be a wife cheating on a husband or a husband cheating on a wife, you know, somebody's got to set the bar high and say, enough is enough. Commitment is where it is, you know, and more importantly, I feel like a person cannot really be committed to their spouse unless they have some level of commitment to God himself. So that's my view on it. Any last remarks on that? Anything you want to touch on?
I'm saying at one point, you know what I'm saying, like, it's done been, I've been faithful to a lot of females, you know what I mean, but then it's done been females I haven't been faithful to. So I feel like it's all about the person in the relationship, you know what I mean. But some dudes can't be faithful, you know what I mean. But you know what I'm saying, just because you cheat don't mean you're a cheater. I got you, fellas. No, if you cheat, you are a cheater. Once a cheat, always a cheat. That's how I was. That's how I was raised. So you ain't never copied off nobody's homework, cheater. No, I actually was a person that they were trying to copy the work from. Oh, you're good too, shit. No, I wasn't trying to be. It's just, you know, I don't know. Look, that's why I see why you so strong about what you're saying. But nah, but what you're saying though, for real, it's like, no, but what you're saying is really true. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? You got, when you find that person, you know what I mean, you'll know it. But at the end of the day, everybody, that certain situations happen, and you know, like, you can't even, like, sometimes it seems like damn, this shit happens so fast and so crazy. It's like it was meant for it to happen. Exactly. You know what I mean? Now, I do believe that everything happens for a reason. So, again, I think that some people are meant to be in your life for a season, and then you have some people that are meant to be in your life for a lifetime. So it's up to you as an individual to decide how this person's position will play out in your life. Again, we appreciate y'all for watching. Thank you so much for tuning in. Again, please comment. Let us know what you think. Again, this is episode 2 of season 2. So again, we on the road here. It took us a minute, but we back. We didn't even argue this episode. And we didn't. And I'm so proud of that. And even when we do argue, it's in love, y'all. We don't. We laugh and joke out of the show. Exactly. Even before the show, we cracking up on the couch and just laughing at little silly stuff. So, I mean, just let us know what you think. Leave a comment, subscribe, and again, make sure you hit that Patreon link and support us. But we do love y'all as always. And again, be blessed and stay out of trouble. Yeah, man. Stay out of trouble. Yeah, stay out of trouble. And you can take it however you want, whether it's staying out of jail, staying out of other people's beds that you don't need to be in. Stay out of trouble. Yeah. Love y'all. Peace. Alright, man. I wanted to ask everybody to loan me $30. I get my taxes back.